So now we're going to look at how bond prices and arbitrage result in different prices for assets when it's not so simple, when they have maturities that are greater than 1 year or payoffs that are different from year to year. So a maturity, right, is the time when a bond comes due. Typically what happens with bonds, as explained in the text, is that you get a coupon payment, which is like an interest payment kind of, every year. And then at the end of the maturity period, the face value of the bond is paid. Okay? Well, here's an example first where you're just going to get a bond uh, that is worth $100 in 2 years. Okay? Um, and you're basically saying uh, there's no coupon payment at all, but in 2 years, you're going to get $100 from this bond. That's the face value of the bond. And let's say that the going interest rate in the market then for both years is assumed to be 10%. Then what you do is you say, okay, uh, the face value is $100. It's going to be equal to the present value times 1 plus the interest rate in period 1. That's going to be the amount of money that you have after 1 year. Then that quantity times 1 plus the interest rate in period 2. That's going to give you the money you have to after 2 years. So in order to find the equilibrium then, where the present value reflects an interest rate of 10% and a face value of 100, you need to plug in 100 to this for the FV and 0.1 here and 0.1 there, and then solve for PV, and you get $82.64. Here you're getting two identical payments at the end of each year. Well, in that case, you say, I get one payment of $100 after 1 year, when the interest rate, again, was assumed to be 10% during both years. So that $100 payment at the end of 1 year is worth $90.90, 100 divided by 1.1. And the $100 payment after the second year has a present value of $100 divided by 1.1 squared, which is the 82.64. So two $100 payments spaced out a year apart, one in 1 year, one in 2 years. The promise of those two payments is worth $173.55 today. The general way you look at it is that your present value of a stream of payments is the payment 1 year out divided by 1 plus r, plus the payment 2 years out divided by 1 plus r squared. And these r's might be different from year to year. If you believe that the interest rates are going to follow a particular path, you plug in. You need to be careful to account for that, in which case you're going to have to may have 1 plus r1 times 1 plus r2, 1 plus r1 times 1 plus r2 times 1 plus r3. Okay, so it's complicated, but the basic idea here is given under this assumption that the interest rate is identical in each year. This formula will hold. The nth year being the final year of payment. And then this shows how it's done in a spreadsheet. Here's where the interest rate is a constant 5%. $100 payments are made for 9 years, followed by a $1,000 payment in the 10th year. That gives you, applying the present value formula, it gives you this stream of present values for the first 9 years. Notice how much it depreciates. That getting a $100 payment 9 years from now, if the interest rate is 5%, is only worth $64.46, whereas 1 year out it's worth $95.24. That $1,000 payment 10 years out, if the interest rate's 5%, is really only worth $613.91. So the total present value of these payments, 9 consecutive years of $100 payments plus a $1,000 payment in the 10th year is only $1,324.70. Here's what happens when the interest rate doubles to 10%. Now the present value is $961.45.